Welcome into another edition of On the Tee. I am back from Florida, and as always, with you on Tuesday nights, starting a little bit early. I'm not on Daily Wager tonight, so we thought, why not? Let's start at 6 o'clock as opposed to 7, and let's get the party started. As always, John Mascari, head pro at Alpine Country Club, as well as Christina Thompson. Look at you, and Christina Thompson from Golfer Extraordinaire. Peace out. What's up, guys? We're back.
Hi,
Christina. So I was in Florida visiting my family. I did play TPC Sawgrass and I did shoot an 86. It was the Valley course, don't you know? But I'm ecstatic about it. Why? I rented the clubs, and the clubs there are great. They're like brand new Callaways, but they're lady shafts. You know, they're not your clubs. They're not in your bag. I went in there thinking, you know what? I'm going to be Christina today. I'm just going to drink a bunch of transfusions and
nice,
make it a party. And then once, once you kind of, you play 3 holes, you play 4 holes. Now you're like, wow, you're like, your ball's in the fairway every drive. You know, your approach shots are like 10 feet from the hole. Now I'm like, I might slow down on those transfusions. I might have an opportunity to score here today. So I was ecstatic with my 86, and for the first time I had an opportunity to play with my brother, who John was so kind to help me get him fitted for his Callaways about 2 years ago. So he's been playing for about 2 years. This is the first time, obviously COVID, didn't have a chance to see my family. I got down there, and the first time I was able to tee it up with my brother. And so it was a really, really special day. So Christina, I know you were at Hilton Head.
Yeah, I was in Hilton Head. I was actually with my brother and family for a week's vacation, and I got to play Harbor Town. So I played the infamous, course, and it was, wow, what a beautiful course that was. It was a lot of fun. I think I shot in the 90s-ish. I don't even really think I counted my score. It was a little rough. It was definitely a rough course. Those par 3s were brutal, but it was really fun to play a course where the guys had just played the RBC and be able to go, hey, I know that hole. That looks familiar. So as I was in a lot of sand, I thought, what would I do if Stuart Sink was here? So it was a fun round.
Well, we're back.
I'm glad you guys had a good time on your little trips. It's very nice.
But from what I heard, John, you and David Behrman did a great job holding down the fort. I heard that you grew some blonde hair.
I did
during the week, which is really cute. But I heard you guys did a great job. So thank you.
Thank you. It was a very positive show. We had each other's backs. There was no ball busting, making fun of other people. It was just it was very nice.
No. Well, ball busting. That's appropriate since it was all dudes. So no boob busting either, because us chicks weren't on the show.
Welcome back to you both. It's nice to have you both back.
Thank you. Let's dive into it. As always, we like to start the show with our show drink, and of course, the show drink. Christina, our expert mixologist, puts it together, and it corresponds with where the tournament is at this particular week. Christina, take it away.
So I know a lot of us are still recovering from our US Open hangover. So it was a big week last week, but this week on the LPGA Tour is a major week. So the girls right now are actually in Georgia, right outside of Atlanta. So I figured I am going to represent the ladies tour and came up with a drink. It's the Georgia Peach. And honestly, I did like a sample before, and it is really good. It doesn't look quite like that for some reason. I think because I put a little too many cherries in my drink.
But I put too much grenadine in mine.
Oh, you have one too. This drink is really tasty. It's got grenadine, it's got peach schnapps, a lot of peach schnapps, and vodka, and a nice little wedge of fresh sweet peaches. So I can't help sing that Justin Bieber song. I get my peaches out in Georgia. Sorry.
That's a very big cup that you have there.
It's a wine glass.
It looks like a Pyrex thing.
Yeah, I have a wine glass with some rosé in it. Now this is a wine glass, Christina. I don't know what you're drinking out of.
That is a bucket, Christina.
That is
a summer bucket.
Right. 2 hands on that thing, please. 2 hands.
So as we drink and enjoy the show, hopefully you guys do as well. I'm wearing my red for Rahm unbelievable. Rahm wins the U.S. Open. He did it. His first major under his belt, which was really amazing. 69, 70, 72, and then an amazing 67 on Sunday. I don't know about you guys. So let's rewind. So for folks who don't know, Christina, John, and I, we also host On the Tee on Sunday mornings on 98.7 ESPN in New York. And you could also tune into that on the ESPN radio app as well. So you can listen to it nationally. And it airs 8 to 9 a.m. So John usually joins me at 8:15. And him and I both like Bryson. I also put some money on Rory. I thought it was either going to be Bryson or Rory. They both wet the bed. Rory shot a 73. Bryson shot a 77. Hindley, who at that point in time had the lead, shot a 76. We neglected John. You and I didn't even mention Rahm. I'm a little embarrassed about that. I mean, he wasn't even like a big part of our discussion. We mentioned where he was on the leaderboard, but we really didn't spend a lot of time talking about whether or not we thought he could pull this out or not. And then, of course, Christina joins me at 8:45 in the morning. And Christina, you liked Bryson as well, but you did say you had a dream.
I had a dream. I had a dream the night before that Jon Rahm won the U.S. Open. Like it was the dream I had. So either I think about golf way too much, or this tournament was like weighing on my mind. But I woke up, I'm like, But yeah, I literally had a dream, and I said that on the show in the morning. I'm like, I liked Rory. I thought Rory was going to pull it together, and I'm like, but I had a dream that Rahm won, and he was wearing a red shirt. Now listen, I know he wears red on Sunday, so that's not that much of a stretch. But dude, I might be psychic.
You might be.
I?
Feel free to have a dream about the Powerball numbers also. If you don't mind.
Now, I mean, kudos to you, and you just might be, because I think you're like 80% this season, Christina. Yeah, it is. It is. Let's cheer to you and your ESP, right?
Yep, ESP on ESPN. I don't know. It was crazy morning.
There you go. Here's something that I found out after the tournament, that if I would have known prior to the tournament, and you guys know me, I like this corny shit all the time. I may have put my money on Rahm. First of all, the South Course, I did know this. That was where he won his first professional win. But on top of that, he took his wife on a hike, and that's where he proposed to her.
Aww.
Did you not know this?
I didn't know this.
Yes. Okay, so check this out, Christina.
Fun facts we didn't know.
Yeah, exactly. He took his wife on a hike, and this is where he proposed to her on that hike, was a hike around Torrey Pines. And he had a huge wedding in Spain, but came back to the United States and had like a huge ceremony for his friends and family here in the States at Torrey Pines. Like this place is that
magical
for him. If I would have known that, I probably would. Did you know this, John? Did you know all this?
I didn't know that he got engaged there. I do remember seeing that, and I knew that his first win was at the Farmers, which was at Torrey Pines as well. But I didn't know about the wedding party. If I knew about the wedding party, forget it. It would have been over.
Yeah, we need to do better research on these tournaments, guys. We need to get these.
Did he have pigs in a blanket at the wedding party?
I'm just saying. I would have put a little.
Great.
I love that romantic side of this story, and I would have put and just for the mere fact of that, I would have put some money on it. But nonetheless, Rahm, what an amazing story. Has to gets eliminated from the his last tournament because of COVID at the end of the third round, which he was up by 7 strokes, something like that, right? So if I remember correctly, had to quarantine for 14 days, test negative 2 times in a row. So wasn't in that routine of practicing and getting ready for the tournament. And we all know athletes, they're creatures of habit. There is a routine in place. And then comes out and shoots a 67 on Sunday. And
that's awesome.
I mean, John, let's start with you. I think the story is this. I feel like each and every week we host the show, we're always talking about, oh man, Phil, what a great storyline. This is Decky, winning the match. What a great storyline. Like, this is another great storyline. What are your thoughts on Rahm winning, John? Go ahead.
Listen, he was the favorite coming in. He's been playing the best golf on tour all season. But you didn't know what you were going to get. After the COVID, after the week off, would he have lost his mojo? But I just saw a player with confidence. He knew he had a birdie 17 and 18. And he hits an unbelievable shot out of the bunker on 18, short sides himself from the bunker and hits this beautiful, soft little bunker shot, which showed me a lot of poise. And, for a guy who's a pretty long hitter, big, strong guy, to have that type of soft touch. And, boy, the confidence over that putt on 18, he almost visualized that ball going in the hole. And it was just center of the cup, right in, perfect speed. And the emotion that he let out, you could feel it through the television, the fist pump and the screaming. And it was really cool. I love that he had his little baby there with him, which was awesome on Father's Day. And, holding him, he looked like a little peanut in his hand. And it was just really cool. It was a cool atmosphere, a happy moment for him. I think he handled himself with unbelievable class and poise in the interview after, with just saying how he could have looked at the memorial as a negative and as something that, woe is me, and I can't believe this is happening. But he turned it into an opportunity for greatness and focused all of his attention to Torrey Pines and the U.S. Open. And he was not going to be stopped. It was very impressive to watch. And we'll get into some of the other players in the field, but he certainly did it back into this tournament, if you ask me.
Christina?
Yeah, we've since we've been doing this show for the last 4 years now. I mean, Rahm is the guy who we always bring up in our conversations as he's one of the best players out there without a major. And and we always pick him every time it's major week. Someone's always putting money down on Rahm, saying he's got to have that win. He's that good. He deserves to get a major win. And so while we were all watching, I was watching, it was Father's Day. I was watching it at my in-laws' house. And of course, my husband and I are sitting on the sofa watching it. And my mother-in-law is sitting a few feet away from us. And she's trying to talk to us about silverware or something. And Mark and I are literally watching Louis and Bryson fall apart and Rahm. And we're sitting there when Rahm made that, the clutch putts on 17 and 18. I think on 18, we both jumped up off the sofa and started screaming. And my mother-in-law looked at me and she's like, I wish I knew what was going on, because we were so excited. And it was such that very Tiger-esque kind of moment where you are rooting so hard for somebody to win. And how important it is for so many reasons, from the from COVID to being Father's Day and all these other things that are wrapped up into these storylines that we root for every week. So to see him make that putt on 18, it was just the crowd just went crazy. So I just love major Sunday golf. And I think a lot of people were drawn into it. A lot of people were watching, and I think, it gave us that energy that we've missed from Tiger on those, epic US Open Sundays, right? So it was thank you, Rahm. Thank you.
So again, hosting the show on Sunday, I did have a listener tweet at me. He didn't call in, but he tweeted, and the top of the leaderboard, the top three at the leaderboard were nothing to write home about, right? The story and what we talked about on Sunday was Bryson and Rory, and were they going to make a move? Could Scheffler come from way back? We were talking about some of the other big names that were further down on the leaderboard that we were anticipating to make a big move. And, I got this tweet saying, this is what's wrong with golf. It's boring. You're talking about guys at the top of the leaderboard that I don't know. Henley what? Henley who? I'm not going to watch this. This isn't what golf's about. Tiger needs to come back. I'll be honest with you. Listen, do we miss Tiger? Absolutely. We miss Tiger, which, by the way, we haven't heard anything about Tiger in the past few weeks, which I think is interesting, but nonetheless, I'm excited for where golf is right now. I'm excited. I'm excited for the parity of where golf is right now. Listen, each and every week, and we're going to get into the Travelers. We'll have some Travelers picks and plays for you, some DFS as well coming your way. But each and every week, it's getting more. I find it this season, and I've been handicapping golf now for about 4 years. I'm finding it more and more difficult to handicap because there's so many guys now that to me are could win any given. Like I'm not going into a tournament now saying it's his tournament. Like it's his tournament to lose. Like he's gonna have to like he's gonna have to get food poisoning in order to lose this tournament. Like I don't like
right. It's true.
Like that's not happening anymore. And so I personally I think golf is in the best position, in the best shape, especially with the young Higo, Zalatoris. Like especially with the young guys, I feel like each and every year there's like a new crop of young rookie guys that are coming in that are making a name for themselves and winning.
Absolutely.
I mean, let's go around the table. John, your thoughts on the state of golf and where it is right now. Do you feel that it's the best state it's been in, let's say, in a decade?
I'd say even more than that. It's truly international to a point now. There are spectacular young golfers from every corner of the world. It's a more accessible game for a lot of people. And I think you're going to see that as we move into the next decade as well, where you're going to see people from countries and parts of the United States that maybe never really turned out great players, but they're getting into the game because of Tiger Woods, because of the game that he grew on his own through his winning and his success. And you're really reaping the benefits. So Tiger planted the seed, and now the flower has bloomed, and it's beautiful, and the state of golf is in a great place right now.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree. I mean, listen, I've been very invested on the LPGA side and in women's golf, and I think we all can agree that women's golf has been a very diverse tournament league for a very long time. So it is so great to see that actually the diversity on the PGA Tour right now, the young crop of players, both men and women, that are coming into the sport. I think the college programs that these players are coming out of are some of the strongest there have ever been. The amateurs are phenomenal. So I just think that we are starting to see such an incredible wave of golfers entering. I mean, look at Colin Morikawa. I mean, you've got these young guys who are lighting up the leaderboard. And I'm not going to say like with Tiger being out of this, but Phil is getting older. We got some of these, these players who have been our players that we've grown up watching are getting older. And then all of a sudden you see these, I mean, Jon Rahm, 26 years old. I keep forgetting how young he is. And these guys have come right out of college. They've been in our faces for so long. It is just such an exciting time to be a golf fan, whether you watch the LPGA or the PGA Tour. And it's extremely exciting time. So you can pick a guy and just root for him. He's going to win. But it is, Anita, to your point, when we look at like, who are we going to pick this week? It is mind-numbing because it really could be anybody's tournament this week. And it's not like there's this one guy who's just running away with it. It's not like, it's the year of Rory. It's the year of Spieth. It's like the year of who the hell knows? It's like just roll the dice because anybody can be there. And look at the U.S. Open. Like you said, the guys who are up at the top of the leaderboard, we were like, huh? What's going on? Except for Louis. He was the most experienced one up there for a couple of days. So
yeah,
kudos to the tour.
It's really been amazing. Before we move on, like I said, we're going to preview the Travelers taking place just a few miles north of here where we are up in Connecticut. Let's talk about Louis O. I mean, listen, 6 runner-up finishes at majors. Okay. He leads the tour in putting this season, but he's never won. He's never had a victory on U.S. soil. And especially, again, 2 runner-ups in the last 2 majors. John, what is wrong with Louis? Why can't he seal the deal on Sundays?
I don't think anything's wrong with him. I just think he felt it under the gun. I mean, let's talk about coming into number 17 and his person, where he was. Okay, so he's one back, and he has the entire planet on the right side of that hole. The only place he can't hit this ball is left, because there's a penalty area. And really, he could hit it right and still have a wedge into the screen and maybe make a birdie, if not maybe make a par. And then going to 18, which is a relatively easy par 5. Let's be honest. I mean, he made eagle there the day before. And he makes birdie to go to a playoff. And what does he do on 17? But he turns one over into the left ravine and frankly makes a really good bogey, saves bogey on that hole to drop 1 back. I'm sorry, to drop 2 back. And then, the knife in the back as he makes birdie on 18, but it's not good enough. So, and listen, we saw it at the PGA with the same guy, the same problem at 13. He makes double bogey on 13 in the PGA. And whoop, sorry, you're out. And just those little mental errors. He got a little quick with his swing on 17 and tugged it. And you feel bad for the guy. I mean, gosh, he's got the runner-up, the Silver Slam is what they call it. He's been the runner-up in all 4 majors.
I call it the Susan.
The Susan Lucci.
I call it always a bridesmaid, never a bride. That's who Louis is.
For those who are old enough to remember Susan Lucci with daytime TV. And then I don't know if Christina, did Christina send you? Did she send it to all of us? Louis singing "I'll Rise Up."
Yes.
I'll rise up.
Come on. I mean, listen, the guy just, I would be curled up in a ball crying my eyes out. And when that, obviously I watch TikTok all the time, in my spare time. And when that came across my For You page, I guess, I think I watched it 1,000 times because the guy just, he, in the mental state that I think I would be in, I would not be so positive.
Look at his last 3 U.S. Opens: 7th, 3rd, and 2nd.
Well, let's take a look. You might be crying. I don't know how much. Let's take a look at the winnings, Brett, if you can. Yeah. Which, by the way, Brett's producing the show on the opposite side of the glass. You've got any questions or comments? Please feel free to post them. Brett will share them with us. Here's the U.S. prize money, by the way. So Rahm walked away with 2.25. Louis walked away with 1.350.
Yeah, not crying too much after that, I guess.
Harris English, a little over 860,000. Brooks Koepka shared with Colin Morikawa and Migliosi, right?
Miglioci? Is it PCI? It's Miglioci.
Miglioci. There we go.
Yes, as the resident Italian. Oh, they're Italian on the show. I will.
Yeah, that's
I know. I'm sorry. Yes, Christina.
Let's brace ourselves here. Let the Thompson give it away.
Yeah, the dark hair and the dark complexion wasn't a giveaway at all. Sure.
So I don't know how much crying, and he did look like he was having a lot of fun singing that song. Oh. All right. As always, we show you the FedEx Cup standings after each and every tournament, and to no surprise, Jon Rahm goes from 19 to 2nd, with just a few points below Patrick Cantlay, who stays at number 1. Bryson DeChambeau drops to 3. Spieth drops to 4. Justin Thomas, Hovland, Schauffele, Morikawa, Kokrak, and Louis O jumps from 27 to 10. So both Rahm and Louis made some big advancements. The next major and the final major for the season is the Open. And that's taking place in just a few weeks. And those odds are out. So, Brett, if we can bring those up. And no surprise, Jon Rahm is favored 9-1. Then you got Rory, Dustin Johnson, JT, Hovland, Morikawa, Schauffele, and Spieth. Guys.
Who's not on that list, by the way?
Guys, I'm who's not on that list?
Who's not on that list right there?
DeChambeau's not on that list.
DeChambeau
is not on that list.
Or Brooksy.
Can we talk a little bit about DeChambeau and his back 9 at Torrey Pines? What happened? I honestly, I'm still did that just happen? Did he just shoot 44 on the back after leading the tournament on the back 9?
I guess
could that go down as one of the biggest choke jobs in golf?
I mean, I guess he did have to keep it on the fairway and
Christina,
not play the rough.
Let's be honest. So he almost gets a hole-in-one on number 8, right? Right there.
Yeah.
And 44 on the back?
I could do that.
Well, you
guys shoot 44 on the back. Sorry, Anita. 43.
So
I'll take the 44.
So he said it was his quote was it was bad luck on top of bad luck. While you were watching him on the back 9, were you saying to yourself bad luck, or were you saying bad golf or bad decisions?
Bad decisions.
It was like watching him, and it was like watching a car wreck. Like oh my God, what is he doing? Oh, it's in the Stella Artois box. The ball's in the box. Where is it? His foot slips. He's hitting it here. He shanks one off on one of the holes. I mean, like quadruple bogey. I'm like, oh my God, dude, keep it together, please. Like you weren't even that far out of it, even after 13. Like he was still in the mix because guys were making bogeys in front of him.
Right. Yeah. It reminded me of that tournament.
The guy in front of him, the streaker, right?
I missed that. I totally missed that.
You missed the streaker?
I missed it. I totally missed it.
The whole thing was just like, what is happening right now? There's a streaker, and the ball's in the beer box, and he's going out of his mind, and he's going to pop a blood vessel. But he's going to pop a blood vessel soon.
But going back to the open odds, we're all on Jon Rahm, right? Based on what we've seen and him just being so dialed in. And
I like Rahm and I like Rory for the Open.
There is something called
Rory.
There is Sunday Rory. There is Sunday Rory. He proved it yet again.
No,
I'm not. I don't like. I find myself like. He plays poorly. Then all of a sudden, like the last few weeks, he's gotten better. He's gotten better. I finally buy in, and then he wets the bet again on Sundays. He wets the bet on Sundays.
Okay.
I'm not.
Right. Yeah, he's like the girl
Not
that
all Sundays.
you keep on asking her out. You keep on asking her out, and then she's like, "Well, I am free on Saturday," and like, "Ooh," and then I'm going to the movies with someone else.
Okay.
Which has never happened to me before, apparently.
We're not calling that from a personal experience, John.
You talk about Bryson. I just want to share. We just talked about the odds for the Open. Here's the odds for the match, and that's Bryson and Aaron Rodgers. Wow, what a storyline that is! I mean, two of the top, right? Like, awesome. Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, and Bryson and his. Little tiff with Brooks. I mean, whatever. Anyway, they're favored to win this at -167. And then you've got Phil and Brady. Brady's throwing a lot of shade these days. Not sure if you've been listening or watching what he's posting on social media, but Phil and Tom are +130. And then, of course, you've got the Ryder Cup. USA is favored in that at -137. The way that the Americans are playing, and then you've got Europe at +138. I think this is going to be really one of the most exciting, I think, Ryder Cups we've seen in a long time. You want to bet that they're going to tie. It's 12-1, but as we know, that's like kissing your sister. And the Solheim Cup, USA favored at -186, Europe +188, and the tie again is at 12-1. So those are some of those odds. Guys, you ready to preview the Travelers that kicks off on Thursday?
Why not? Let's do it.
Sure.
On the East Coast, baby.
I know we've been talking a lot about Bryson DeChambeau. Well, guess what? That's who I have winning this. I think he rebounds and recovers from that horrible, catastrophic Sunday at Torrey Pines. You can get him to win it at anywhere between 14 or 12-1. Also, I have him as a tournament matchup. I think he ends up having a better score than Dustin Johnson. You can get that at -120. Also, I like on DraftKings, you can play something called the straight forecast, and that's you're betting who comes in first and second. And I've got DeChambeau first, Cantlay second at 180-1. And I've got DeChambeau first and Paul Casey second, and you can get that at 205-1. I've got Cantlay finishing in the top 5. I've got Casey finishing in the top 10. I also have Casey finishing as the top English player at -110. I have Scheffler, Scotty Scheffler, your guy, John, finishing in the top 10. Brian Harman and Answer. I really love Answer finishing the top 20. It's probably one of my favorite plays, if not my best bet, heading into this tournament. I also have Answer in a tournament matchup doing better than Neiman at -125. And then top 30, I've got Streelman, who always does well on this track. I love what I saw from Harris English last week. I think he's going to do well. I've got him finishing in the top 30 at +138. And I've got Kisry finishing in the top 40 at +140. A few metrics, if you want to do your own deep dive in regard to who you like, some metrics that matter in this tournament. You need to be long off the tee. I was reading a stat that there's the last 21 champions, 12 of the last 21 ranked top 3 in driving distance coming into this tournament. And DeChambeau is one. Also, these guys are going to be scrambling their butts off. So you want you want to look at the scrambling metrics. You want to pick some guys that are at the top of the board and scrambling. Par 4 scoring from 400 and 450 out in putting is going to be crucial and is going to be key. So the par 4 scoring I really like because of Kisri and as well as his putting and it's POA, by the way. So those are my plays. My DFS, Matt, if you don't mind throwing up my DFS. So I'm going to play a lot of Bryson DeChambeau. I'm going to alternate between Cantlay and Answer. I'm going to play a lot of English. I'm going to alternate between Will Gordon and Poulter. I'm going to play. I like Rogers because of his putting as well. Migliocci, the 2 Z's make a chi.
Migliozzi,
as the Italians on the show corrected me. And then I like Luke Donald. To play Bryson and Cantlay or to play Bryson and Answer, you're going to have to go with somebody really low. And I want to say I got Luke Donald for 6,400. And I do believe he makes the cut this week. So those are my DFS plays. John, what do you have? What's your DFS look like?
My DFS, and quick note about Luke Donald, he's working with Mike Adams now, one of our friends of the show.
Oh,
Mike's
really?
been getting him going back on the right track. So I have my pick to win is Keegan Bradley, native New Englander, so not far from River Highlands. I too love Paul Casey. You mentioned him before. I have him for a top 5. He's earned 2 top 7 finishes in his last 2 starts. The Gooch, he's only missed 1 cut in the last 12 starts. Come on, Gooch. And Brian Harmon, I have him for a top 10 pick also. He's on my DFS team. He's been playing real well, even though he had that tragic putting experience in the Open. Rounded it out with Charlie Hoffman and Doc Redman. So there's a little something. Hope we can make you some money, everybody, this week.
I like those. I like Bradley. I like Casey. I like Harmon. I like Hoffman. I like Redman. Taylor.
It's actually a really good field, considering it's on the other side of the country the week after the Open. And when you have 5 of the top 10 players in the world in the field in Connecticut, that's a really good turnout. And they like this golf course. It's a fun place to play. It's not very long. It's a par 70, but it's only about 6,900 yards. So look for some low scores.
Here's another key for you. A lot of the majority of out of the last 20 years, the finishes are either end up as like just a 1-stroke lead or it goes into a playoff. And you could wager that there'll be a playoff on Sunday, and you could get that at 16-1. So I think that's a fun play right there, considering the trend is that this tournament is typically won by just 1 stroke or a playoff. So I think that's a fun bet to make. Christina, who do you have winning this, and what do you like in Monkey Knife Fight?
Well, when I have the next dream, I will let you know. But I haven't had a dream yet on who's going to win. But I like Keegan Bradley for the same reason, John. You like him, local guy. He finished this course, tied for second in 2019. But I didn't pick him. I think he's going to be in a top 5 on that. DJ and Bryson, I think they're going to tear up this course. It's a shorter course, right? So I think they're going to take advantage of the shorter yardage. I think it's like 6,800 yards. So I want to go with DJ. I want to go with Bryson, but I'm actually going to go with Scotty Scheffler. I think he's been, steady, improving in his majors. He's always in the mix. He's been in contention. And I just think that, he's rapidly improving, right? Every tournament. So I'm going on a limb. I'm saying Scotty Scheffler, but I'm putting money on DJ and Bryson because I do think DJ is due. And I every year, every tournament, he's always favored. Like, oh, he's favored to win. Well, at some point, he's going to win. So it could be this week. And if it is, this will be the tournament he wins.
All right. And so wait, but you didn't your Monkey Knife Fight. So
my Monkey Knife Fight. Oh, hey, how about them?
Brett, if you could pull those, thank you. So you've got DJ and Bryson. I'm assuming that you're going, since you like both of them. I'm assuming you're going more than 103.5 fantasy points. And what are you going to do for Cantlay and Brooks?
I'm doing less for both Cantlay and Brooksy. Cantlay, I can't lay money on Cantlay because every time I do, I lose. So I'm going less for both of them, birdie or 17.5 birdie or better. So
interesting.
I mean, Brooke, Kepka is the major guy.
I've got him finishing in the top 5. So
Cantlay or Kepka?
Cantlay. Here's my write-up. He finished top 15 last week at Torrey Pines. He's had a lot of success at River Highlands. He tied for 11 here last year. He posted a 60 on this track a few years back. Ranks 3rd in par 4 scoring, 2nd in scrambling this season. And again, those are some of the key metrics that you need to win here. So, I love you dearly, but I hope you're wrong with that.
Someone's got to be winners and losers, right?
Absolutely. Some other top storylines before we jump to the LPGA. I do want to talk about Bryson DeChambeau and the little rift again that's going on between him and Brooksy. Listen, and the video went viral. It was another video where Brooks was doing an interview with the Golf Channel and Bryson was walking behind them and then kind of did this like vertical leap.
He leaped.
He leaped up in the air to distract whatever was going on. Like, to me, I feel that broadcasters, not just golf broadcast, but this story obviously went viral and all sports talk stations are talking about it. And a part of me thinks these guys, it's not as serious. They don't hate. I guess what I'm saying is I'm just getting the feeling like I don't think these dudes hate each other as much as a lot of us think they do. Do you agree or disagree? Do you think this is a little overboard? I don't think this is a big of a deal or as serious as I think a lot of people believe it is.
I agree. I think it's I'm hoping that it's listen, there's people in all of our lives that just irritate us, but we can roll our eyes at it and kind of have fun with these guys. I just think that they don't like each other, or maybe Brooksy doesn't like Bryson. But the fact that Bryson did that again during an interview means that, listen, Brooks didn't jump over the fence and go beat him in the face, So I'm assuming that it's just whatever and not a big deal. And I agree with you. I think maybe the media in general is making a bigger deal out of it than it is.
John, you think it's a big deal? You think these guys really hate each other? You think this is more of a show?
I think they dislike each other, but I think they're enjoying the little bump up that they're getting through social media.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm sure this is any way of people not talking about DeChambeau's 44 on the back, but about more how he jumped behind the camera. So
right.
I'm sure he's fine with, right?
Right.
But we'll see. I don't think it's a big deal anymore.
I agree.
Again, if you've got any questions or comments, please post them on our message board. Brett will share them momentarily. But before we get to those, let's talk about the LPGA. Nelly Cora, she wins again. Break it down for us, Christina.
Yeah, no, it was a fun tournament to watch. It's hard to go back and forth between these two events, but Nelly Corda, she, like you said, she became the first 2-time winner on the LPGA Tour this season. She closed with a 5 under 67 on Sunday for a 2-stroke victory at the Meyer LPGA Classic in Grand Rapids, Michigan. She's 22 years old. She's ranked number 4. She won her 5th tour title. She missed the U.S. Open, the cut at the U.S. Open 2 weeks ago. So I think this was a great return for her. Leona Maguire of Ireland, she was 2nd after 66. She just was 1 stroke shy of becoming the first player from the Emerald Isle to win on the LPGA Tour. Some other notable finishes last weekend were Inji Chung. She shot a 63 to tie for 3rd on it. Anna Nordquist tied 20? She followed at 20 under for 66. And Marina Alex finished T25 at 14 under after shooting a 69 on Sunday. But as I mentioned earlier in the show, this week is a major week on the LPGA Tour. We've got the KPMG Women's PGA Championship. This is a great event. The ladies are heading down to, they're there now in Atlanta at the Atlantic Atlanta Athletic Club. I knew I was going to twist that up. In Georgia, Se-Young Kim is hoping to defend her major title. She won this tournament back in October when it was pushed back due to the pandemic. But there's 155 other golfers in the field who are looking to dethrone her. I honestly am excited that the LPGA is playing their tournament at this venue, because if you remember, the PGA Tour played their major event. I think it was the PGA Championship back in 2011 at the Atlantic Athletic Club. And it's so nice to see the LPGA playing, the women playing on the same fields as the guys that we normally see on PGA Championships. So we saw it at the US Open when they played at the Olympic Club in San Francisco. So I think the LPGA is really doing a great job on booking these great venues and really allowing the women to showcase their talent. So I'm looking forward to this event for that reason, to really see how they take this course and really give us a great showing. So there's a lot of little storylines, but I mean, I think the player right now this week to look at is Inbee Park. I mean, I know she's the favorite to win right now. I think she's due to win. She hasn't won, I think, since the British Open in 2015. So she's definitely overdue. But we have had a lot of I'm trying to think of this. I think the stat I had here was that in the 13 events this year, we've had 13 different winners. So, there's always a good chance that we're going to see someone who hasn't won. But I do believe that Inbee Park, this is the woman who, she's not a long driver, but dang, she is accurate with those drives, and she putts she's like a cucumber. She is cool, confident, and if she's in contention, watch out. So I like her. I think Inbee Park is a good pick. I know she's a favorite to win. Others are Danielle Kang. We've got Lexi Thompson, and of course the Cordes sisters, who are magical. Neither one of them have won a major, so this could be their time. But we also, let me mention, Team Golf for Her is in the field this week. We got Marina Alex, Jane Park, and Mo Martin, who is the British Open champ, all teeing it up. So lots of cool players to watch. And the only player I'm going to fade is Brooke Henderson. Sorry, I'm just going to add it in there. For those, I know a lot of people have her favorite to win this, but her sister's not on her bag. And those that know, this last week and this week, maybe the first times that Brittany's not on her bag, and she missed the cut last week. So I'm going to fade Brooke this week.
Did you say dang before?
I did. I was in Savannah over the weekend.
You might be like the first Italian to ever say the word dang.
I know. I'm working on my other 4-letter words that I'm trying to cut back on.
Noted.
All right.
There you go. That's your LPGA update.
I'm looking to see if there's an odd out there. If we could bet on. I don't see it up. If we could bet on her missing the cut.
On Brooke
yeah.
Henderson missing the cut.
I don't see it. I'm gonna search it. I'm gonna search.
I know a guy in Brooklyn that will take that action if you need to make a call.
Yeah. Yeah, Brittany wasn't on her bag for the first time in 5 years due to her visa issues. So she can be in the United States, but she can't work in the United States. So she had to have another caddy. So anyone who knows, her and her sister are the dynamic duo. So the fact that she missed last week and she's probably not going to be on her bag this week, I would take the fact that Brooks she can very well miss the cut this week.
All right. With that being said, let's end the show with your questions or comments. Let's bring in Brett, our producer. He magically appears. Voila! Hi,
he's muted. Does he know that?
Hi, Big Daddy.
Hi. Hi, Zaddy.
I'm subtly very uncomfortable.
That's don't feel bad. That's how John was referring to me all last week with the blonde wig on. It was very
we talked about that. We talked about not saying that.
You're right. I violated our trust there. It's my bad. But yes, some good stuff to talk about. I want to last week. John, I pitched this to John and David, and they just could not care less. So now that Anita's back and it's back in our question comment section, the match, is this good for golf? Is it good for golf betting? Is it fun? Are you looking forward to watching it, or can we do without it? And I have a follow-up question from a viewer after that.
I have no interest. I'm not watching. I mean, I probably won't watch. I'm sure there's something better I could be doing.
Now, if you were to take Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka and have them play against one another, the world would watch and the world would bet. So
if Brooksy didn't wear a shirt, maybe.
I think whether or not Brooks wears a shirt or not, I think you want to talk about a match that people would absolutely watch and gamble on. Oh, it's that one, especially if they were both mic'd up. Shit, yeah.
So the follow-up question was going to be, if you had to replace either Phil or Bryson, who would it be and who would you replace them with? So it sounds like on one hand we would replace Phil with Brooks, but is Bryson without Brooks valuable to the match, or could that have been somebody different?
I wouldn't even have Aaron Rodgers. Like Aaron Rodgers in Tom. Go away.
Mm-hmm.
Go away. I
agree.
I just Bryson and Brooks go at it. Mic them up. No holds barred. Like anything goes. Like everybody's. Come on, Christina, you're watching that.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would watch that for sure.
Yeah,
that's a good Saturday night pay-per-view watching, I guess.
Everybody's
right.
John, your thoughts?
I'm more concerned with the celebrity. I think these celebrities need to be different. The celebrities, like, I would love to see, like, the hell with Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. Like, I would love if, like, Larry David, or, like, Jerry Simon.
Kevin James.
Like someone who's, like, completely insane, not the best golfer, but it's
guys. You're basically standing on your front lawn right now screaming, "Get off my lawn!" Larry David.
He's a golfer and he's funny.
And he's like 97.
Oh my god.
He would stress me out playing golf with Larry David. And
that's what I mean. Like, he's so neurotic, and I think it would be funny. But
I'm sorry, really quick. Because we're all about helping people win money here on this show. So there's no cut, miscut, make cut prop bets out right now, Christina. But this is what I do have. Lydia Ko plus 100 to finish better than Brooke Henderson.
100%, definitely.
What would you put on that? What would you put? $1,000? $500?
Ooh.
Look at John. What?
$1,000. I mean, listen, you've been winning all season, but I mean, $1,000.
Listen.
She has a nugget. She has a nugget for us. Her sister's not on her bag. Her sister is not.
Lydia Ko is a favorite to win this, man. I think I would, if I had to do, I would put $100 down on Ko to finish better than Brooke Henderson at the this week for sure.
She's favored right now at minus 134.
Brooke, I don't understand it. I mean, she's always favored. She's a fantastic golfer. I just don't believe. Why
is her sister not on her bag? Oh, you said because of
visa issues. She can work. She can be in the United States, but she can't work in the United States. So her papers, they're trying to push her papers through, but
are they from Canada? Where are they?
Canada.
Yeah, okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Brett,
the world famous, back to you. The world famous third world country of Canada that we can't get people in efficiently from.
Exactly.
The other question I have, and I don't know how this is going to hit with John and Christina. I'm not sure how much you guys follow basketball, but Anita, I know basketball is in your wheelhouse. Good question here. Good sports comparison across sports. Has Rory McIlroy become the Ben Simmons of golf? Lots of talent, lots of ability to make plays, but he can't putt. Can't make a putt to save his life. And Ben Simmons, they're taking that guy out late in games because he can't hit a free throw. Can these guys ever hit their potential if they can't do those two crucial things in their respective sports? Does that make them a perfect cross-sport comparison?
John?
I'm about to go crazy, so
I might back you up on that, John. I might have your back on that.
Rory has 4 majors.
Correct.
Ben Simmons has
Rory is in.
Guts.
Yeah, but when was the last time Rory won a tournament?
Okay, but it's an individual sport. I mean, like
Yes.
to win a championship, he's got to have a full team effort, obviously. But Rory has done it. He has reached the pinnacle of his sport, right? He's been the number world ranked player. He's won majors.
He's 32
He's won every
years old.
event you could think of, with the exception of the Masters, right?
Did he win the Masters? No, I don't think he's won the
That's
Masters.
the only one he hasn't won.
Yeah.
Is the Masters.
Yep.
Let me ask you this: given what we've seen Rory's struggles become and how consistent they've been, start Rory's career now. Do we see him winning a major again?
Absolutely. Oh, there's no doubt. 100%. There's no doubt. He's got what?
Wow, very strong words there.
Yeah, 100. He's got
I think
19 tour wins.
he's way too talented. He's way too talented
absolutely.
of a golfer not to win another major. And he's still
100%.
relatively young. You realize how
32.
young he is. Right.
He's
In the
32
grand
years
scheme,
old.
he got onto the scene so young and was successful at a young age, but he's got at least another decade to 12 years of success.
Easy.
Don't look now, but that's what everyone's saying about Ben Simmons. Is he's got so much potential. He's so good. He's got so many skills. Don't give up on him. But
Rory's already proved it. He's already done it. He's been winning.
One more thing I want to throw your way before we end the show, and I meant to ask this when we opened up the show, and that is, and you touched on it, how young Jon Rahm is. Jon Rahm is 26 years old. How many majors do you think Jon Rahm is going to win when it's all said and done? Like what we know and what we've seen before is like it's just winning that first one, and then the floodgates open, right? Like you get out of that mental like, oh, I got to win my first one, and so that pressure is off of you, and winning more becomes a little bit easier, especially a golfer of his caliber. So with that being said, what do you think? 7, 10, what? 4? You really only 4, John?
Yeah, because of what we said before with the parity in golf.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's just so many good players. And there's 4 is 4 more than I have, but
Fair enough.
It's just going to – I love that he's confident. I love that he's gotten that – he's gotten the monkey off the back, and he feels comfortable in this situation now, competing. It's no longer the best player to never win a major.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do we think he's got? Another at least 15 more years of competitive golf, maybe more. That's 60 majors he'll be competing in.
I mean, come on, Phil won a major at 50. So let's think about this. Like, I think that John he's been number 1 in the world. He's got the game. It's not that he doesn't. It's just the opportunity, he dropped, he had a few misses there, but I think he's going to win an Open. I think, he's the guy who is going to get an Open championship. So I'm with.
Yeah. I think you're right, Christina. For me, I think of those 4, I think you'll have to measure him for a jacket for 2 of them.
For sure.
I think he'll win 2 Masters because he's got such a good short game. He's a good putter, and he's a fantastic chipper of the ball.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. And like you said, that first win, we've talked to people like who've won what life was before their first win and then what it was like afterwards. And that first win gives you this confidence that you can do it. So with Rahm and his temperament and his drive that he's had all these times to get him to be that top golfer that he's been, we can only imagine what this extra confidence boost will give him. And like I said, I would put money on him for the Open this year. So,
and I certainly am. Anything else before we end the show, Brett?
No, ma'am. It's great to have you back. As much as I enjoyed John hosting the show, there's no one quite like you. So welcome back.
You're number 1, Brett. You're number 1.
All right. If you missed any portion of the show, it will live in this digital space on PFN 365, my social media platform, as well as Christina and John as well. So go back and watch it. We recap.
I got to pick some good music for this week.
We recapped the Open. We previewed the Travelers, and we gave you a little nugget. Lydia Ko, Henderson. All right, guys, have a great night. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Have a great night.
delicious. That's my